morning and welcome to my local woods. I've got a day off today, so I thought I'd record a little vlog today, and I just thought I'd come down to my local woods. They're just 10 minutes down the road from me, so I thought I'd come down. One of the things I want to do is I want to try and practice my woodland photography. It's something that I'm very new to, and I've just never done much of before. And so I'm down here today. In front of me I've got some silver birches. I've always been fascinated by these, so so I'm just going to do a bit of photography with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sweeping panoramic, so I'll just show you now. So I thought I'd do a panoramic of the trees, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame them quite tight. So instead of getting all the trees, I'm just going to get like a strip of the trees, which I think might make a nice panorama. I don't know. We'll see how it goes in back on the computer. But it's these trees I've always walked past quite often, and I've always been fascinated by them. But they're looking quite good today because obviously we're in the middle of winter and all the leaves have dropped and they're looking quite bare and barren. And obviously there's a little bit of colouring on them with some of the leaves that have fell. So we'll just get the shot ready and I'll show you what we can do. I'm going to set this up for a panoramic shot. What I normally do in my panoramas, obviously I've learned quite a bit off some of the other vloggers on the YouTube. So my panoramas I think have got better because of knowing a few little tips. So the first one is obviously get your tripod absolutely level. I learned that from Thomas Eaton. It made so much difference to getting the tripod level and the camera level in to actually stitching the image in post. I found that it stitches a lot better if you do that. So more important thing is get the camera set up before you even start to turn the camera on and switch, and take the photographs. So what I've done here is obviously I've got it set up on F11. I'm just going to pop into manual mode. So I've got the camera set up on F11 ISO 100. And what I'm using one of the trees to focus on to get the focus right. One of the great things about my Canon EOS 80D is that it has back button focusing. So literally, it takes the focusing away from the shutter release button. Because normally when I've had panoramas in the past, I've always struggled with getting the focus, because literally when I go to take the shot it messes the focus up by pressing the button. One of the things that back button focusing does is it takes it away from that shutter button. So I literally press the back button to focus once and it keeps that focus there till you actually press the back button again. It's not a feature in every camera, but it is useful to have. So if you can get it on a camera, then it's well worth having. Okay, so what I've done is I've just focused on the tree. I've got it set up, I've got it focused on the tree, I've got my exposure set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop the camera down and I'm going to take the panorama one by one. What I do is I have a 2-second timer on and I overlap them by a third. Obviously I tend to leave a little bit more than I need, so you might get a number of shots. So I'm going to pop the camera down, see if we can get these shots, and then I'll pop it up on the screen in a bit. So I'll see you in a moment. that's the shot done. One of the things I forgot to mention before I took the shot is that it's very important to get your settings set in the camera, and don't touch them once you've taken the panoramic, because obviously the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to have different exposures, different, you know, light levels of light on each shot, and that's one of the difficulties of getting panoramic shots. So it's important to get that settings right and leave it on. Get the settings right and leave them there. That's one of the reasons why I always shoot my panoramics on manual, because basically you dial the settings in and you leave them to it. So I'm not too sure how well the shot's going to come out. One of the reasons I'm focusing is because the sky's very dull and overcast today. It's one of the great things about doing woodland photography is that you don't have to wait for sunrise and sunset. You can do it in quite grey days, dull days. So if there's ever a day where you think it's a bit miserable, it's grey and raining and you don't really want to go out shooting, then go and try a bit of woodland. This weather suits it perfectly because you get the nice dapple light. Sometimes it does help to have a little bit of sun bursting through the trees, but but this weather does, is good for this type of photography. So that's the shot done. I'll go and have a wander and take some more shots. I might have a wander into the woods and see if I can spot anything. I've decided to pop into the woods again, a bit further away from where I was before. I'm taking a photograph of a tree in front of me. One of the things that really picked me to this tree is the leaves are still on the tree, but they're very brown, so it's giving a nice bit of colour in the obviously in a very dull and very green environment. So I'll just pop round and show you the shot now. So as you can see, obviously you can see a little bit of orange in a very green environment. So so I've got my camera set up, I've got it on manual mode. I'm running at f11, about a tenth of a second. I'm just waiting for the right moment because there's a little bit of a breeze running through the trees, so just waiting for that breeze to stop for a moment. So I think it's more about trying to capture the right moment in woodland photography. I'm quite lucky, it's quite a still day today, but there's a little bit of a breeze blowing about. So what I'll do is I'll take the shot and I'll pop it up on the screen. So one of the reasons why the shot stuck out to me is because it's obviously the orange of the tree being guided by the two green trees behind it. Everything's very, at the moment, because we're obviously coming from end of spring, end of winter into spring and summer, everything's just obviously died off and what is starting to pop into life. There's daffodils everywhere and there's squirrels running about where I am now, so everything's springing into life, and hopefully this woodland will be teeming with life in the next 3 or 4 months. So it's a place that I'll probably be back to more than once. So that's obviously the second shot. I've only got a couple of shots today. It's just an impromptu vlog down to for a quick walk down the woods while I had a day off. Woodland is something that I really want to do more of, but it's something that I don't know a great deal about. I really struggle to find compositions in Woodland, so I've got a lot of respect for the people who do this all the time. I think it's a case of trying to find a composition in chaos. I think there's a lot going on, there's a lot to look at, but I'm sure the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So yeah, so I'll put the images up on the screen as I go along. And what I tend to do with my images as well is I post them on social media during the week, and also I'll put them on my website for you to look at. So feel free to go and visit them. I'll put the links in the description so you can have a look at my social media and also my website. Please go along and have a visit. You know, give me a subscribe, give me a like on any social media platforms. I'm generally on Twitter and Instagram more than Facebook's, but I go on quite a lot of these platforms. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the vlog today. I'm going to go home and get myself a brew, get some lunch, process some images and edit this video. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Hopefully I'll get back into a regular schedule over the next couple of weeks. I've been very busy at work, so the vlogs took a little bit of a hit at the moment, but I will definitely trying to get back into a regular schedule. So yeah, so I'll speak to you soon.